Jason Aaron, Jim Town, Frank Martin, Chris Sotomayor, and Maury Hollowell unleash the dooms of the multiverse onto the Avengers as Doom Above All begins his mission to break the bedrock of reality. Jason Aaron continues his action-packed Avengers Assemble storyline with another issue filled with lots of cool action and fun character moments, teaming Earth 616's Avengers up with the Avengers of Forever for the first time and giving us some really awesome little moments between these characters. While the issue was mostly just Doom versus everyone else, the Steve Rogers introduced to us a few issues back takes center stage, particularly the Skinny and Big Steve, two of my favourite of the bunch of Steves we met in that issue. Aaron gives us some great yet bittersweet payoff to their arc on becoming heroes, and I was actually quite shocked that it was paid off so quickly, since Aaron has a tendency to begin story threads, then in the case of characters like Starbrand, not pay them off for upwards of 30 issues. So I was quite surprised to see the quick turnaround on this little story and payoff happening. Jim Town, Frank Martin, Chris Sotomayor, and Maury Hollowell paint up Doom's war in fantastic fashion, taking the epic moments from Aaron's script and breathing bright and colourful life into them. The battles were fittingly brutal and violent, and had some real holy shit moments that, thanks to the team's work, really paid off, since you got a real great sense of the cinematic scale they were going for this issue. Avengers Forever issue 14 was a fun, action-packed, all-out war issue that steered the event into its epic third act by bringing the story and its players full circle. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Avengers Forever issue 14 finds the Avengers digging their friends and allies out of the rubble of the fallen Avengers Tower as the army of Doctor Dooms descend on them. Captain Carter leads the Steve Rogers and Carol Corps into the battle against the multiversal Dooms, but the Dooms prove to be quite formidable, killing many of the Avengers as Doom Above All battles Old Man Phoenix and Avenger Prime. Valkyrie joins the battle against the Dooms, using her all-weapon to chain up several of the unused Mjolnirs, using them all like a whip to cave in some Doom's heads. One Steve Rogers managed to pick up a hammer, combining it with his shield to take out multiple Dooms with lightning as Captain America joins the Steves, telling them to keep up the good work before joining Captain Carter out on the battlefield. Ant-Man meets with Iron Man, telling Tony that he wasn't told another Tony Stark would be joining them, complaining that he got sober for this. Iron Man thinks that being drunk is the only reason he would ever become Ant-Man in the multiverse. The goddesses of Thunder, Thor, and Odin join forces, smashing Doom's heads in as Logan tells Echo to focus her Phoenix Force into the Doom Above All's living planet above them. The planet-sized Doom blasts the ground, killing many Avengers and Dooms alike as the Star Panther smashes through its face, rupturing its mantle and core. A Doom Meemaw tries to strangle Big Steve to death, but he is saved by Small Steve, who collapses thanks to his wounds. Big Steve wants to get his friend to a medic, but the Skinny Steve tells him that they have to take the hammer. Big Steve doesn't listen, taking Steve and the hammer to a medic as Doom Above All assaults Agamotto, causing him to vomit up acid. Doom tells him to drink deeply of the liquid since it is as close to mercy as he is getting. Doom tells Avenger Prime that he stands alone now, telling him to cast aside the Avenger Prime role and at least die as the backstabbing god of mischief he is. Loki asks him to turn around for a moment as Namor smashes Doom away. Loki thanks Namor, but Namor is not interested in listening to the trickster's lies since he has no qualms in killing him if he intends to betray them. Loki joins Namor in battling the returning Doom as Star Panther rips an eye out of Doom the Living Planet's head, blinding the creature. Thanks to the bloody opening, Old Man Logan and Echo speed inside the being's head, blasting it with the full force of two phoenixes, unleashing a tidal wave of molten blood onto the battlefield. Doom Above All meanwhile hopes Namor and Loki can feel the power of the quarry under them, since it will soon belong to him. Loki knows it was never about Earths, it was all about weakening the cosmic boundary, asking if Doom knows what that will do. Doom is very well aware and nothing will stop him. Suddenly the molten blood covers the area, sweeping Doom away and giving Namor an advantage, allowing the hero to swim through the lava and hit Doom in the face. The Steves meanwhile are cut off from everyone else thanks to the blood. Little Steve tells his friend that he wrote a letter in case he didn't make it, wanting Big Steve to take it home for him. Big Steve doesn't want to hear it since he is the strongest Steve out of all all of them, and Little Steve is going to get through this. Big Steve agrees to take the letter, however, but learns it's for no one in particular, as Little Steve hoped that he would have met someone before he died. Little Steve dies in his friend's arms, and the grief-stricken Big Steve picks up his friend's hammer as the Dooms emerge from the blood, calling for the death to all Avengers. Big Steve says that his friend's name was Steve Rogers, and so is his, as he blasts apart the Dooms with Mjolnir. Elsewhere, the God of Fists, Captain Marvel, and Nighthawk venture into the mine Mephistos were digging under the God Quarry. Thor thinks that they should be fighting with the others, but Carol tells him they can feel a darker energy at work there and they need to investigate. Nighthawk knows that Mephisto doesn't give up easily, as they find a scared demon who mutters about the 616 devil betraying the Council of Red. Suddenly he is stomped on and absorbed into the 616 Mephisto, who says that his army of Mephistos have fallen, but they still serve through him, welcoming the Avengers to the end of everything.